فله عشر أمثالها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها وهم لا يظلمون.
The theme of today's khutbah is the meaning and requisite of Shahada, Kalimatu Shahada. All praises and thanks be to Allah, who has not begotten a son and who has no partner in his dominion, nor he is slow to have a helper, protector or supporter, and magnify him with all the magnificence. I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah alone, and I bear witness that Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is his servant and messenger. He sent him before the coming of the last hour, giving good tidings and warning, and one who invites to Allah by his permission and as an illuminating lamp. May the blessings of Allah be upon him, his household, his companions, and those who follow their path in righteousness. O servants of Allah, verily the first pillar among the pillars of Islam is the Shahada, that is, testifying that there is no true God except Allah, and that Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is his slave and messenger. And this pillar is the foundation that all other pillars stand on. So also other provisions of the religion. Whenever this pillar is sound and strong, other deeds become straightened, accepted and beneficial to their honor. And on the other hand, when this pillar is weakened, all other deeds become worthless and become like scattered dust. They become like a mirage in low land, which a thirsty person thinks is water, until when he comes to it, he finds it is nothing. Such deeds are also just like ashes, which the wind blows forcefully on a stormy day, and they become to their owners a wasted struggle in this worldly life and sorrow in the hereafter. The Shahada has meaning and requisites. It is mandatory for who utters it to know that meaning and work with its requisites. If not, mere professed would not benefit him. The meaning of Shahada is acknowledging that none deserves worship except Allah, and that any deity worshipped other than him is false. That is because Allah is the truth, and that what they call upon other than him is falsehood, and because Allah is the Most High, the Great. The requisite of Shahada is to worship Allah in singularity and not worship alongside him anyone else. When you say, I testify that there is no deity other than Allah, it means that you have announced your dissociation from all that is worshipped other than Allah, sticking to worshiping him alone and carrying out what he decrees and abstaining from what he prohibits. The Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, when he said to the polytheists, utter the Shahada, they understood from the proclamation that what is required from them is worshipping Allah alone and dissociating themselves from idol worshipping. So they refused to utter or say the Shahada. They used to say, has he made the gods only one God? Indeed, this is a curious thing. Their leaders also used to say, as Allah narrated in his magnificent book, and the eminent among them went forth saying, continue and be patient over the defense of your gods. Indeed, this is a thing intended. We have not heard of this in the latest religion. This is not but a fabrication. That's the meaning of Shahada. It is making the gods to be one. It is dissociating oneself from worshipping any deity other than Allah. The polytheists at the time of the Prophet understood this meaning because they were Arabs. Alternatively, the worshippers of the graves nowadays don't get the real meaning of the Shahada and are ignorant of its requisites. That's why they say the Shahada, but on the contrary worship the dead. Sadly, the polytheists of the Prophet's era were more knowledgeable than such so-called Muslims. They knew better when it comes to knowing the meaning and requisites of the Shahada. The grave worshippers call upon servants of Allah other than Him. They call upon the deceased and they seek for their help in solving their problems or wiping their worries. They perform tawaf around graves and slaughter animals in sacrifice before them. Verily, such are not people of understanding. They have neglected Allah, and Allah would neglect them in the hell. O Muslims, among the requisites of the Shahada is performing Salat, which is the second pillar after the Shahada. Also, giving Zakat is one of the requisites. Fasting the month of Ramadan and performing Hajj when you have the ability. The companions alongside Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu engaged the defaulters of Zakat in war despite the fact that they uttered the Shahada. It was said to Hassan al-Basri, some people say, whoever says La ilaha illallah enters paradise. He said, whoever says La ilaha illallah then performs its right and obligations will enter paradise. Wahab ibn Munabbih said to somebody who asked him, is La ilaha illallah not the key to paradise? He said, no, it is, but there is no key except it has teeth or cuts. If you come with a key that has the appropriate cuts, you would be given access, and if not, you will not be given access. Allah says, and those they invoke besides Him do not possess power of intercession, but only those who testify to the truth can benefit, and they know. O Muslims, saying, I testify that Muhammad is Allah's messenger means to acknowledge that he is a messenger from Allah and believe in it genuinely from the heart. The requisites of this phrase, on the other hand, is summarized in 4 things. Number 1, obeying Him in what He orders. Number 2, believing Him in what He told. Number 3, abstaining from what He prohibits or warns. And finally, Allah should not be worshipped except in line with what He legislated. In light of the last point, a Muslim should not expect closeness to Allah through a deed except if that deed is carried out in congruence with Messenger's guidance. You should leave all innovations and the sayings that clash with the Sunnah regardless of who says it, because each and every one of us either gets his opinion taken or rejected except for our Master Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Malik bin Anas said, all of us would be accepted from us or rejected except the owner of this grave. He pointed at the Prophet's grave. Also, Imam al-Shafi'i said, scholars have had consensus that whoever the Sunnah of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam becomes clear or known to him, he is not allowed to abandon it for anybody else's saying. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal said, it is amazing how some people who know the authenticity of a hadith leave it for the opinion of Sufyan. After all, Allah says, so let those beware who descend from the Prophet's order, lest fitna strike them or a painful punishment. Fitna means shirk or associating partners with Allah. Finally, O servants of Allah, fear Allah the Exalted and obey Him, and know that the best of sayings is the book of Allah, the best of guidance is the guidance of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, and the evil among things is innovation in the religion. Wa subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.